Right, good evening and many thanks for joining us this the 4th day of March the year 2024. Indeed, it's a day that a lot has happened from just a day after the Auditor General revealed that the government paid 104 billion shillings for a system that it neither owns or controls. President William Ruto has clapped back to such claims, insisting that the government is not paying such amount to the SHA, and of course instead maintains that the SHA is the only way to root out corrupt individuals, or rather cartels, in the Ministry of Health, insisting that SHA must work. Now, from the politics of the healthcare, or rather the healthcare crisis in regard to the SHA, to the waiting and of course seeing what will happen next as the country await for the decision that will be made by the ODM party leader, or should I say the former premier Raila Odinga's next move in regard to the political direction that he will be taking. That and many more in our State of the Nation tonight. But first thing first, our top stories tonight.
Which 104 billion shillings? Ruto rubbish off claims that the government spent 104 billion shillings to procure SHA system. End of an era. Malaba Member of Parliament Malulu Njende laid to rest in Kakamega County. Also tonight, outrage over SHA. KMPDU and civil servants demand SHA overhaul as protest erupt outside Afya House. Plus, we mean business. Owalo says that the government will take serious performance evaluation exercise.
This is Kutv Primetime News with Auma Evans.
Alright, our sign language interpreter tonight is Jennifer Obuya. Remember, you can talk to us on all of our social media platforms. We are coming to you live on YouTube at KUTV News. You can tweet us on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Auma Evans, the hashtag to use, State of the Nation. So tonight, we kick off our bulletin with rather some somber news. Now, the late Malala Member of Parliament, Malulu Njende, has been laid to rest today at his rural home in Lukusi village in Kakamega County. President William Ruto is among the leaders who attended the burial of the late Malaba Member of Parliament. Malulu Njende has been described as a steadfast leader who championed for the reforms of his constituents. The late Malulu Njende died while receiving treatment at Aga Khan Hospital here in the nation's capital after a short illness. Right, still in Kakamega County, President William Ruto has come out again in defense of the Social Health Authority, also known as SHA, rubbishing off claims that the government spent a whopping 104 billion to procure the system, as the Auditor General reports. And of course, as our political affairs reporter Edward Nyamu reports, Ruto maintains that SHA is the only way of dealing with corrupt stakeholders in the Ministry of Health.
Kenyans have been called on to continue registering for the Social Health Authority despite it receiving criticism from some of the leaders and hospitals. According to President William Ruto, the program is working effectively and should be embraced by all sectors.
We are firm, we are focused, because we want a country where healthcare is not the preserve of the rich and those who can afford or those who have jobs. We want healthcare to be the right, as it is in the Constitution, of every citizen of the Republic of Kenya.
Ruto has asserted that the previous model was burdened by debt, and with the new model being implemented, the corrupt figures in the health sector are having a hard time to accept it.
Hii makelele mnasikia kwa hii mitandao na nini ni watu ambao walikuwa wanaibia sisi siku ya NHIF. These are brokers. Iko sijui iko shida. Hata niliona juzi wakisema ati serikali itatumia bilioni 100 ati kwa system. Hakuna senti ya serikali itatumiwa kulipa system yeyote. Because we want to sort out the problem of fraud of the past.
The new health model has been greatly rubbished by opposing leaders, and the recent one being that of doctors and nurses who have hinted on a nationwide strike to stop the implementation, something that Ruto has refuted.
Pesa nyingi ambayo ilikuwa inakusanywa na NHIF iliibiwa na matapeli na wakora ambao walikuwa wanajifanya wako na mahospitali. Fake claims, fraudulent claims consumed almost 40% of the money that was being raised by NHIF. Na hiyo haiwezi kufanyika mimi nikiwa rais tena. It will not happen. Na ndio sababu nimefanya consortium kubwa. Tukasema we are going to have a consortium of technology companies that is going to make sure that there are no fraudulent claims in SHA.
Leaders accompanying the president also backed the new model, stating that the KK government will not stop until Kenyans get access to universal health care.
Mimi nataka kuwarai hivi, kabla hujaongea, kabla hujapiga kelele, kabla hujapumbazwa na wanahabari ambao wananiambia katika taifa letu la Kenya, jiandikishe kwanza. Wakati utagojeka, uone kama utalipiwa ama hautalipiwa.
With the ups and downs in the health sector, key stakeholders and Kenyans continue to raise concerns over the future of the sector. Edward Nyamo, KUTV.
Thank you, Edward Nyam, for that comprehensive reporting. Still Matters Health, the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentist Union and the Union of Kenya Civil Servants are demanding for urgent reforms in the Social Health Authority, or SHA, citing inefficiency and mismanagement that is putting the millions of Kenyans at risk. KUTV's Brenda Nyongesa reports on a day that the healthcare workers and the civil servant took to the streets to protest, calling for SHA overhaul.
Outside Afya House, tensions ran high as healthcare workers and civil servants rallied against what they call a failing healthcare system, led by the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, Secretary General Dr. Davji Atela, and the Union of Kenya Civil Servants, Secretary General Tom Odege. The demonstrators were demanding an overhaul of the Social Health Authority, accusing it of insufficiency and failing to provide the essential healthcare services that Kenyans desperately need. According to the unions, more than 5 million citizens are at risk of missing out on critical medical care due to what they describe as weak leadership at SHA. They have also raised concerns that public servants are being deducted twice for a medical scheme that is not delivering the promised benefits. The unions have issued a 2-week ultimatum to the government, threatening nationwide protests if their grievances are not addressed. Adding to the criticism, Nyandarua Senator John Metho has condemned the government's misplaced priorities, citing large donations to churches, while crucial sectors like healthcare remain underfunded. This comes amid jitters emanating from the report given by Auditor General Nancy Gathungu, revealing that 104 billion shillings in SHA system holding Kenya's health data is controlled by private individuals and not the government. In the report, Gathungu noted that the consortium retains full ownership and IP rights, collects 11 billion shillings annually. The report also indicated that private individuals controlling SHA system pockets 2.5% of the contributions. The Ministry of Health, on the other hand, has maintained that SHA will enhance access to quality and affordable medical services, with emphasis that SHA is a game changer in the journey towards universal health coverage, ensuring that no one is left behind. Brenda Nyongesa, KUTV.
All right, from Nairobi County to Kisii, Now, clinical officers and nurses in Migori County, have ceased operation following a breach of the memorandum of agreement with the Migori County government. Addressing the media at the Migori Referral Hospital, the Migori Union of Clinical Officers Secretary Maureen Marimba stated that the memorandum of understanding agreed in December 2024 had not been fulfilled. Miramba stated that the 3 agreements they reached with the county administration had to be met by March 1st, which covered nurses' promotion, concerns with the health care workers shortage, and the inclusion of health workers in comprehensive insurance cover. Take a look.
The timeline were to elapse by 1st of March. We had 3 issues where the number 1 was promotion and redesignation of the staffs. Number 2 was to how the county government was going to handle the shortage of staffs we are facing now. And number 3 was to have comprehensive insurance cover for the workforce.
And away from health matters, now a legal framework will soon mandate public institutions to justify their existence and meet performance standard effectively. This is according to Deputy Chief of Staff Edward Owalo, who made the remarks during a performance evaluation exercise at the Kenya Ports Authority, emphasizing accountability and efficiency, as Anyango Sylvia now reports.
Speaking during a performance evaluation exercise at the Kenya Ports Authority KPA headquarters in Mombasa, the Deputy Chief of Staff in the Executive Office of the President, Performance and Delivery Management, Eliud Owalo, has announced a new approach to performance management in government organizations, emphasizing accountability and efficiency. The initiative is a response to growing concerns over some underperforming government agencies and the negative impact this has on the nation's development.
Moving forward, the government is taking the performance management framework very seriously. Gone are the days when performance evaluation used to be undertaken for the sake of it. We want to ensure that the project is as objective as possible so that those organizations which excel in performance also attract certain rewards, including but not limited to enhancement of budgetary provisions.
According to Owalo, the draft performance management bill will require that government organizations demonstrate tangible results in line with their specific mandates. The bill, once enacted into law, will hold entities accountable by making performance appraisals legally enforceable.
Organizations must justify their existence in line with their mandate. To augment this process of performance management again, we are going to anchor performance evaluation and performance management into law. We already have a draft bill, performance management bill, which will soon be getting its way into Parliament so that it can undergo the necessary processes towards enactment into a performance management act so that the results of performance appraisal can be legally enforceable.
However, KPA Chairperson Benjamin Tayari and KPA Managing Director Captain William Ruto proposed new criteria of performance evaluation that will consider external factors that affect delivery. The two called for arrangements that would ensure seamless operations in a multi-agency approach.
Most of the issues which are affecting us, especially on operations, not on the board side, are the other stakeholders or the other government agencies which we are supposed to work hand in hand. If we have a seamless operation with the other agencies, then I think the other issues maybe which might be raised here will not be there on the table.
Whereas as KPA, we have targets that are just within KPA. But where now we have other government agencies that are supposed to, support us, or some external factors that sometimes, derail us. We would have also recommended that going forward in future, the criteria of evaluation also should be considered in issues that are outside our control. What should we do?
The Performance Management Bill is poised to be a landmark piece of legislation in Kenya's ongoing efforts to improve governance and service delivery by holding government agencies to higher standards. The bill, once enacted into law, will not only enhance the efficiency of the individual institutions but also contribute to a broader culture of accountability in the public sector. Anyango Sylvia, KUTV.
All right, now we are taking a very fast break here on KUTV State of the Nation. Remember, plenty more to follow, including the discussion about the state of the nation, where we take stock on matters, politics, health, and everything in between. See you in just a while.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka akawa tuzo, ukakamavu wake ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke akabaini jinsi ya kuwini. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake nami Caroline Kimweli.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Auma Evans.
Thank you for keeping it State of the Nation. Let's continue. Now, Mombasa County Executive Committee member for Transport and Infrastructure, Daniel Manyala, has urged developers to use only engineers accredited and registered by the Engineers Board of Kenya to ensure structural integrity and compliance with the building rules. He emphasized that the use of unqualified staff is a major cause of building collapsing. Speaking at the Pembe Zandovu in Mombasa, where he led a walk to commemorate World Engineering Day, Manyala emphasized that the critical role of structural engineers in the building approval process, as well as the importance of strict compliance with the engineering standards, stating that the authorities will ensure all procedures are followed and action taken against those who attempt to circumvent regulations.
We will continue to partner as you labor to mentor young engineers, and as government we will always ensure that there are chances for partnership, be it in internship, be it in attachment, or even in eventual employment. So I am happy that we are here today, and I am sure that we should in future partner in organizing this event because it is one of the most important events in the calendar of engineers. Thank you.
Right, now from Mombasa, let's switch gears to Kisii County. Now, the Ministry of Health has confirmed that the mysterious disease affecting Kisii residents is linked to unsafe water from a community spring contaminated with fecal matters. Now, this confirmation followed Principal Secretary Mary Mudhoni's fact-finding visit to the area on Tuesday morning, as our very own Helen Kiplangat now reports.
Following the outbreak of a strange disease in Kisii County, Health Principal Secretary Mary Muthoni revealed that the illness impacting hundreds of families was caused by water contamination with fecal matter. In response, the government has shut down the spring in South Murigango constituency after the laboratory test deemed the water unfit for human consumption. Over 100 people from 4 neighboring villages were affected, with victims complaining of symptoms like headache, diarrhea, dizziness, joint pain and vomiting.
Nafikiria nifanye watoto namna gani. Juu wanalala chini, joto kali. Hawakuli chochote. Wanasikia tu tumbo, mwingine akionja hata maji kidogo anatabika. Hiyo ndio shida naona iko hapa kwangu. Asijui kwa upande wangu nilikuwa ninalia tu usaidizi nione kama watu wangu watasaidika namna gani.
Mimi nimekuwa mgonjwa wiki 2 zilizopita. Nikaenda kwa hospitali inaitwa Domao, nikaandikiwa shindano 8, lakini malaria haikuonekana. Nimekunywa hizo dawa, nikaanza kuhara, lakini mwanzo nilianza pains mgongo, miguu, kichwa, joto. Sasa kuhara ndio imeanza. Nikapewa madawa ingine kama Fragile. Nimetumia. Bado sijaacha. Tumbo inanguruma saa hiyo mbio mpaka kwa choo.
Mimi niligonjeka 2 weeks ago, lakini niligonjeka kama wiki moja. Nilianza tu na tumbo kuniuma kidogo tena inaacha. Na mwili nilikuwa nauma kidogo nikaenda hospitali nikapatiwa madawa. Baada ya kutumia hiyo madawa after 1 week nikapona tu. Sasa tangu hiyo siku na hiyo maji ndio naendelea kutumia. Kuhala si kuhara. Na hiyo shida viliisha niendelea tu vizuri saa hii, ni homa tu peke yake. Bibi yangu ndiye akona hiyo shida tena kidogo, lakini sio sana. Kuhara haendi kwa choo, yani haari.
In our address, PS Muthoni urged residents to maintain high hygiene standards to curb the disease spread. However, she noted that further samples are still being analyzed to fully determine the disease cause, as the spring has long been used without any reported harm. The public has been cautioned against spreading rumors about the situation and advised to wait the Ministry of Health officials' reports. Helen Kiplagat, KUTV.
Thank you, Helen, for that. Now let's focus on Weatherman. Now the weather outlook is expected to shift from today to the 10th of March 2025 as dry conditions are likely to end as rain is coming. Occasionally, rainfall is expected later in the week over Western Kenya, Lake Victoria Basin, Rift Valley and Central Kenya, including Nairobi, Coast, Southeastern, Lowlands and part of the North. Daytime temperature will be greater than 30 degrees Celsius in most areas, but cooler in Central Kenya, Highlands and the Rift Valley. Nighttime temperature will be less than 10 degrees Celsius in the Highland east of Rift Valley and Mount Kilimanjaro regions. Alright, let's take another very short break. When we come back, plenty more, including sports news.
So my name is Jakub Petri. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland. And I'm the main coordinator of the CAFE project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Access to knowledge. Solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
From the hospital corridors, we bring you experts to discuss issues affecting your health, from diet to mental health. The familiar and the ignored are both put into perspective. We then dive into the environment and look at the effects of climate change and its solutions. Join me, Mutegi K. Martin, every Friday at 9 p.m. as we learn on how to better our health while taking care of our environment. Only on KUTV. You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Auma Evans.
Alright, it's time for sporty action. Now, Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Vuria has assured the Senate Committee on Labor and Social Welfare that the infrastructure projects for the 2025 Africa Nations Championship (CHAN) and the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations (AFCON) are progressing smoothly. Despite the CHAN postponement to August, he emphasized that the government is committed to deliver world-class facilities. Sports Principal Secretary Engineer Peter Toom, on his side, highlighted investments in grassroots sports, academies, and the youth development, noting that the international exposure is crucial for boosting athletes' confidence and skills. And now matters football. The Football Kenya Federation Premier League leaders Police FC and FC Leopards played out to a goalless draw in the FKF Premier League action stage at the Kenyatta Stadium. Now the law enforcers top are still, or rather the draw leaves the law enforcers top of the table with 42 points. Ingwe settled for 5th place with 35 points. In other fixtures, Gor Mahia is set to square it out with Kariobangi Sharks at the Dondora Stadium tomorrow at 4 p.m. Right, so that is where we end it for today. Our discussion about the state of the nation. Our guest has just called us in just to inform us about the emergency, but nonetheless, the discussion still continues in our socials, and we can keep talking about the areas about now the social health authority, the crisis that is really rocking the new insurance now, the medical insurance scheme that was introduced as an antidote to the former NHIF. And of course that discussion continues on our socials, and we'll be sure to bring you up to speed with the latest development as the event unfolds, given the fact that the new revelation by the Auditor General report continued to spark a lot of mixed reaction among Kenyans, some condemning and others of course in defense of the government. Very interesting times that we live in. The health of the nation is very important and very critical, and we invite you always to talk about the state of the nation, things that concerns you as the common citizen. So we leave it at that particular point. Many thanks for you, our esteemed viewers, for always keeping us a company in the last 32 minutes or so. My good name is Auma Evans. Jennifer Obuya has been our sign language interpreter tonight. Until next time, do have a lovely night, and God bless Kenya.